Welcome to the Barrow Bookstore audio series. Letter to Her Daughter from the New White House by Abigail Adams. Washington, 21st November, 1800. My dear child, I arrived here on Sunday last, and without meeting with any accident worth noticing, except losing ourselves when we left Baltimore and going 8 or 9 miles on the Frederick Road, by which means we were obliged to go the other 8 through woods, where we wandered 2 hours without finding a guide or the path.
John, we must stop and ask for directions.
Oh, Abigail, we'll find it.
Fortunately, a straggling man came up with us,
John,
and we
ask him,
engaged him
ask
as a
him.
guide to extricate us out of our difficulty. But woods are all you can see from Baltimore until you reach the city, which is only so in name. Here and there is a small cot without a glass window interspersed among the forests, through which you travel miles without seeing any human being. In the city there are buildings enough, if they were compact and finished, to accommodate Congress and those attached to it. But as they are, and scattered as they are, I see no great comfort for them. The river, which runs up to Alexandria, is in full view of my window, and I see the vessels as they pass and repass. The house is upon a grand and superb scale, requiring about 30 servants to attend and keep the apartments in proper order, and perform the ordinary business of the house and stable, an establishment very well proportioned to the president's salary. The lighting of the apartments, from the kitchen to parlors and chambers, is a tax indeed, and the fires we are obliged to keep to secure us from daily agues is another very cheering comfort. To assist us in this great castle and render less attendance necessary, bells are wholly wanting, not one single one being hung through the whole house, and promises are all you can obtain. This is so great an inconvenience that I know not what to do or how to do. The ladies from Georgetown and in the city have many of them visited me. Yesterday I returned 15 visits, but such a place as Georgetown appears, why, our Milton is beautiful. But no comparison, if they will put me up some bells and let me have wood enough to keep fires, I design to be pleased. I could content myself almost anywhere 3 months. But surrounded with forest, can you believe that wood is not to be had because people cannot be found to cut and cart it? Bristler entered into a contract with the man to supply him with wood. A small part, a few cords only, has he been able to get. Most of that was expended to dry the walls of the house before we came in, and yesterday the man told him it was impossible for him to procure it to be cut and carted. He has had recourse to coals, but we cannot get grates made and set. We have indeed come into a very new country. You must keep all this to yourself, and when asked how I like it, say that I write you the situation is beautiful, which is true. The house is made habitable, but there is not a single apartment finished, and all within side, except the plastering, has been done since Bristler came. We have not the least fence, yard, or other conveniences without, and the great unfinished audience room I made a drying room of to hang up the clothes in. The principal stairs are not up, and will not be this winter. 6 chambers are made comfortable. 2 are occupied by the President and Mr. Shaw. 2 lower rooms, 1 for a common parlor and 1 for a levee room. Upstairs there is the oval room, which is designed for the drawing room, and has the crimson furniture in it. It is a very handsome room now, but when completed, it will be beautiful. If the 12 years in which this place has been considered as the future seat of government had been improved, as they would have been if in New England, very many of the present inconveniences would have been removed. It is a beautiful spot, capable of every improvement, and the more I view it, the more I am delighted with it. Since I sat down to write, I have been called down to a servant from Mount Vernon with a billet from Major Custis, and a haunch of venison, and a kind congratulatory letter from Mrs. Lewis upon my arrival in the city, with Mrs. Washington's love, inviting me to Mount Vernon, where, health permitting, I will go before I leave this place. Affectionately, your mother.